is confusing when it's taught by the school. But will it be so painful if I speedrun it to you with the universally adored game Minecraft? Probably not. Action. Addition. If you have one arrow and you add another arrow, you'll get the sum, 2 arrows. Subtraction. If you had 2 arrows and used one of the arrows, you'll have the difference, 1 arrow left. Multiplication. To make one chest, you'll need 8 oak planks. But what if you need 4 chests? 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 32 oak planks. But I'm telling you there's an easier way. 8 appeared 4 times in this equation. So 4 times of 8 equals the product, 32. Division. Now you have 32 oak planks and you want to see how many chests you can make. You can do 32 minus 8 minus 8 minus 8 minus 8 until 0 and count how many times you subtracted. But just like multiplication, you could divide 32 into groups of 8 and that gives you the quotient, 4 groups or 4 chests. Orders of operation. This seems easy, but this is confusing. Think of the orders of operation like building a house. The brackets are like choosing the landing of the house. Exponents are like the plans for the house. Multiplication and division are like the material for the house. And finally, addition and subtraction are like building the house. But do make sure that if it's the same level, do it from left to right. Basic algebra. Algebra is when you have x, y's, and z's, or variables. For example, you need 1 stick and 2 diamonds to make a sword, but you can also use 1 stick and 2 iron for a sword, or 2 cobblestone. So let's set stick as 1 and whatever mineral for x. In this case, x equals 2, but it can also be 2 iron, 2 diamonds, 2 emeralds, 2 whatevers. A simple question is 2 plus x equals 6. If making 2 diamond swords needs 6 pieces of material and you already have 2 sticks, how many diamonds do you still need? 4. Fractions. Fraction is something that's not a whole number. For example, you have a cake and someone ate some overnight. You want to know exactly how many parts of the cake are eaten. That's when fractions come in use. A fraction is composed of a numerator, vinculum, and a denominator. In this case, the cake is the whole, or the denominator, and the slices of cake taken is the part, or the numerator. 4 out of 7 slices are taken, or you can say 4 over 7 of the cake is taken. Perimeter. One miraculous day, you want to build a foundation with exactly 3 by 4 sides, and you want to know how many blocks you'll need. In other words, you want to find the perimeter. So simply add all the sides together, or you can add the width, wide side, and the length, long side, and times that sum by 2. Area. Now you want to fill in the foundation, and you want to know how many blocks are needed to fill it in. You can count them one by one, but if it was a bigger number, this method would save you a lot of time. The blocks needed in this area are 3 times the length, and the number of times you multiply the length by is basically the width. The area of a rectangle is width times length. Now you want to build up 3 layers, and you know that one layer is 3 times 4, 12 blocks, and there are 3 layers, or the height is 3. So the length times the width times the height equals the volume, or the blocks you'll need. There are other figures with different formulas, but these are the basics. Angle. Now you want to make a roof for this weird foundation. If you make a flat roof, that would be a 360-degree angle. If you make a normal roof, that would be a 90-degree angle, or a right angle. Now you think that's too ordinary, so you decide to have a pointy roof. Anything smaller than this 90-degree angle is an acute angle. You know, like a cute, teeny, weeny angle. But then you get tired of this acute angle. Gosh, really? How picky are you? So you decide to have a big, wide roof. Anything greater than a right angle is an obtuse angle. Triangles. A triangle has 3 angles, 3 sides, and 3 types. The first type is equilateral triangles. They have the same degree of angles and the same length of sides. The second type is isosceles triangles. They have 2 of the same angles and 2 of the same sides. The last type is scalene triangles. They have no angles and sides the same. The sum of 2 sides of a triangle should always be greater than the other side, and the difference of 2 sides should always be smaller than the other side. All 3 angles should add up to 180 degrees, because if you rip all the 3 angles on a triangle like this, wait, let me just rip them, and you place them on a straight line, which is my computer in this case, and just gonna fall. You place all of them onto a straight line, though you find out that they actually add up to the angles of a line, which is 180. So yeah, that's something cool. Circles. This is a circle. This is a center point. A line that goes straight through is called a diameter. A line that goes halfway through is called a radius. The perimeter of a circle is the circumference. Pi is circumference divided by diameter. It means that you only need 1, 2, 3, and 0.145926535 pieces of diameter to make the circumference. Pi goes on forever. We simplify it and use 3.14. The circumference of a circle is pi times diameter. The area of a circle is pi times radius squared, which brings us to our next unit. Exponents. Exponents tell you how many times you need to times that number. Like, for example, we have 2 blocks, and then you add 2 blocks on top of that 2 blocks. That's the base times 2, and then you times that base by 2. That's 8. You can times that base again by 2, and so on. 3 is 3 to the first power. 3 times 3 is 3 to the second power, or 3 squared. 3 times 3 times 3 is 3 to the third power, or 3 cubed. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is simply 3 to the fourth power. 3 to the fifth power, sixth power, and so on. Coordinates. Go to Settings, Game, and then World Options, and turn on. Yeah, that could work, but do you really know what it means? Before we get all 3D and fancy, let's focus on these two. This is you and your world, and you want to know your coordinates. Divide this world into 4 quarters, or 4 quadrants. Mathematically, the horizontal one is called x, and the vertical one is y. Now, to know your coordinates, you have to find out where you are horizontally. Count from the center point, and just like on a number line, anything left of the point is negative. Anything right of it is positive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we can correctly position ourselves vertically. Start again from the center point. Anything lower than that is negative. Anything higher than that is positive. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Now that we have our exact location, all you need to do is to put them into parentheses. X first, then y, and separate them with a comma. Now flatten this graph and add another axis called z, and for God knows what reason, you're floating and you want to know your coordinates. Imagine x and y are these and z is this. Start first with x and y, then you have z. Center point will always be center point, and below are the negatives, above are the positives. 1, 2, 3, and there you have it. Now just remember that somehow in Minecraft, z equals y and y equals z. I don't know, someone explain it to me too. Okay, this is where I end the video. I spent a long time on this script. Please consider subscribing and save this video for later use. And I'm going to sleep.